Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of Joe's Tobacco Reviews. I do have a microphone on, so hopefully that'll alleviate any of the volume level issues that we had. I did a test earlier, it seemed pretty loud, so that's cool. Today's video is a little bit of something different, a little bit of a throwback. As I've said, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, as in buy a pack or 2 packs a day from the gas station. I do, towards the end, I got into roll your own tobacco. So I do have some roll your own tobacco, and occasionally I'll make a cigarette, but I don't smoke them every day, and I don't smoke that many. But I figured since some people asked, I'd do it. So today what I have is this here. And this is Gawith and Hoggarth Kendal Gold. So this is a pipe tobacco blend. But in terms of pipe tobacco, it is basically, it doesn't have much flavoring, and it doesn't have really, I believe it's mostly Virginia. Smells like it's mostly Virginia. It's a golden blend. Nice shag cut. And it's pretty long. It's actually kind of like a longer ribbon. But if you buy a pipe tobacco blend such as this, and you allow it to dry for, oh god, this has been out for probably 6 months or so in the bag. Pipe tobacco, the moisture content's just way too high to smoke. You can try it, but it's gonna smoke like really hot and steamy. But if you let the moisture drop down, it'll work out pretty well. So I got that a couple months ago. This is the machine I have. It's a Powermatic 2 Plus, electronic injection. And the cigarette rolling tubes I have are these Zens. They're full flavored with 17 millimeter filters. So I maybe in the future I'll do a video of actually making a cigarette, but for the convenience of the viewer, I already have made one right there. The tobacco quality is a lot better than a reconstituted cigarette. Now there are some manufactured cigarettes that do have real tobacco, but this is the cigarette. As you can see, if it'll focus, pretty. It's the same color as in the bag. It's a golden, lighter brown. It has a kind of hay, sweet, lightly sweet hay, Virginia type smell. It's got a decent body to it. It's pretty good smell. As you can see, the one reason I do like making my own cigarettes is because these tubes have shorter filters, and I don't really like filters that much for any type of cigarette or anything. I don't like a restricted draw. So I'll fire it up with this Jim Beam bourbon Zippo lighter with the pipe insert that I took the top of the chimney cover off. So let's fire it up. So when you inject longer ribbon cuts like that, the biggest problem that you're going to run into is right around the filter. You're going to have issues getting the tobacco all the way in there. Now this one, if you pack just a little bit tighter right on the end facing the cigarette tube, and then you just spread it out as it goes down, it'll allow it to burn or pack it in there more tightly, and you won't have it fold up right here. But as you can see, it does put off a decent amount of smoke. And it lit very nice and evenly. Got a nice body to it. I have an ashtray off to the side. The strength is good too. Any non-mass marketed tobacco is going to have more nicotine, especially if it's not reconstituted. Reconstituted tobacco, a lot of the times, is so modified that they actually have to spray more nicotine on top of it. But with something like Kendal Gold, it was manufactured as a pipe tobacco. There's minimal, maybe some propylene glycol as a humectant, and whatever kind of special flavoring they use to keep it consistent across batches. But it's a bulk tobacco, and it's not very expensive. So you could buy it doesn't have the same tax as a cigarette rolling tobacco does. It's classed as a pipe tobacco. I'm not going to go through any rating criteria because, like I said, I do this so little. And really, a lot of it has to do with how well I inject the cigarette, the moisture of the tobacco, especially with a pipe tobacco like this. But, I'll give you my overall thoughts. I do like this blend for this. I can't remember. I might have tried to smoke it out of a pipe before. It's pretty plain. If you like a pipe, especially if you're not inhaling a pipe, if you're going to smoke a pipe in a more traditional connoisseur-like way, it's going to not have a ton of flavor, which isn't a bad thing. It's mild. But in a cigarette form, it's pretty good. Not very harsh. It's not gooey. It doesn't have a lot of flavoring added to it. So it's a dry smoke. And in terms of the flavor of it, Virginia. It's a Virginia. It slightly sweet, a little bit of like a grassy note. Nothing. Especially with cigarettes, you're not really looking for, Latakia. You're not looking for, with a cigarette, especially if you're going to smoke a bunch of them. This doesn't get old, and it doesn't have a nasty aftertaste to it either. It actually really doesn't have any aftertaste. And it burns at a decent rate too. It's not flying. It's just nice and slow. I just drew it into my mouth and blew it out my nose. Might have a little bit of a sweetness there that maybe doesn't come exactly from the tobacco. As far as English pipe tobaccos, it doesn't have a Lakeland essence added to it. So it doesn't have floral notes like a lot of the Gawith blends do. It is Kendal, and it's gold. It's their bulk blend, the Kendal line. And yeah, it's nice. It takes time. It takes more time to make cigarettes with pipe tobacco because you have to take a little extra precautions as to making sure it's packed right. Whereas something like this tin of natural American Spirit, the tobacco is cut a lot shorter, and it tends to pack down in the machine a little bit easier. But like I said, especially if you're only doing it once in a while, something like this Gawith is a pretty good option. Yeah. So, I'll probably do a review of the roll your own machine in the future. And it is starting a little bit to crinkle up right there where the filter meets the paper. That kind of happens no matter what tobacco you're using, unless you're really good at getting that little bit of tobacco right there where the filter meets the paper. But it can be worse. If you really mess it up, the cigarette will start folding at like a 45-degree angle as you draw it, because there'll be nothing there. But anyways, so my thoughts, the Gawith and Hoggarth Kendal Gold it's a good value when you buy it in bulk, especially if you're going to buy a pound of it. It makes a decent cigarette tobacco. Probably makes a decent pipe tobacco if you inhale a pipe, because it's pretty mild and it doesn't clog up your airway. But yeah, so this has been my quote unquote review of Samuel or Gawith and Hoggarth Kendal Gold pipe tobacco made into a cigarette. I also have over 100 pipe blends that I can do reviews on, and probably 40 or some pipes. So as far as smoking content, I do have it. Although mostly I've been using oral tobacco. So, but I do have cigars and stuff too. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Give me your feedback, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.